Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another military ration tasting. Today, I'll be tasting this. And this is a First Strike Ration. This is a 24-hour US ration, and it was very kindly sent to me by BlackDogBob. BlackDogBob, thank you so much for sending me this ration along with a bunch more. Look for those videos soon. He was so generous and sent me tons of really interesting rations that I've never tasted before. So what makes a First Strike ration a little bit different than a typical MRE is that it contains 24 hours worth of food, and it's a lot more streamlined. It's much more compact. Apparently this was inspired by what officers were already doing. They were taking the MREs and removing all the packaging and kind of combining everything together to reduce weight and kind of compact things down. It has fewer calories than a typical MRE as well, and what's special about this is that it doesn't require any heating. So the food is made to be eaten on the go, and so I'm imagining there is not a Flemish ration heater in here, but we shall find out. All right, let's give the FSR a taste. It is wicked hot. It's like 90 something degrees outside, and I'm wilting like a daisy. This is menu number 6, and I noticed on the back here it tells you what is in here. And from what it looks like, there's no heater, and everything is just kind of like portable food. But what I'm very curious about is the caffeinated chocolate pudding and the caffeinated peppermint gum. Wowzers. Yeah, part of me wants to field test this and throw this into a lake and see how it would do in the water. It looks very tightly sealed. And let's give this a go. We have the card that has the nutritional information of the entree and the entire contents of the ration. Standard issue spoon, Boulard's hot sauce, khaki Ziploc bag, type 2 strawberry banana dairy shake, that looks very familiar. Wow, turkey nuggets. This is a beverage base powder in tropical punch. Put that with that. Ooh, military energy gum, MEG. Look at that, complete with sky camo. Vacuum sealed accessory pack. Ooh, cheese spread. It's not the jalapeno. Bridgeford apple turnover dessert. First Strike cinnamon flavor energy bar. This is a barbecue pork wrap. Cheese-filled pretzels. Mocha dessert bar. Italian breadsticks. Cranberries osmotic. Ooh, caffeinated chocolate pudding. Look at that. This is the actual herb chicken. Chicken breast in a bag. Cool. All right, let's see what's in the accessories pack. This looks very much like the MRE accessories pack. It has the standard gum. Actually has 2 towelettes, which is different. Salt, 3 moist towelettes, and matches. This is much more streamlined. This would typically contain a sugar, a creamer, and an instant coffee, but not this time. They do give you 2 extra moist towelettes though, to make sure you're clean and fresh. I'm going to clean up with my moist towelette before I eat. This is just your typical wet nap. Very faint kind of smell to it. Doesn't smell alcohol-y at all. Let's test our matches. These look like standard matches as well. And let's see how they work. Fire! Great. So since this is a 24-hour ration, I'm going to kind of do this as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And for breakfast, let's just start with our energy bar. And this is the apple cinnamon flavor First Strike nutritious energy bar. And there we go. Wow, it's pretty small. Look at that. But it looks a lot like a Cliff Bar, kind of a bunch of goo with some chunks in it. Sounds really appetizing, doesn't it? From what I've gathered, it looks like everything is kind of portable and handy, and I like the fact that you don't need to sit down or even use your spoon. You can just kind of eat it on the go. So let's just do that. Itadakimasu. And it tastes just like a typical sports bar. It's very dense and chewy, almost taffy-like. Those little bits in there are actually little crisp bits of cereal, kind of like rice cereal. So it does give it some textural variety with a little bit of crunch, but it is very dense and sweet. So I could see the energy portion of this. And in terms of flavor, it tastes a little bit like Apple Jacks cereal. It's not delicious, but it gets the job done, right? So breakfast was pretty light, so now I'm gonna have brunch, and I'm gonna have these turkey nuggets. I'm very curious to see what these are. I'm imagining it's supposed to be some kind of beef jerky, but nuggets make me think like deep fried nuggets, but I don't think that that's what this is. Packaging gets me sometimes. Oh, yes, indeed. It's just major jerky. Look at that. 5 hunks of turkey jerky. But those are serious nuggets. Twice wrapped to keep it nice and fresh. But there you go. See how they bounce? And that is just a big hunk of jerky. It has a very interesting texture though. It's kind of rubbery, as if you had a stick of pepperoni that you left baking in the sun too long, something like that. It has a little bit of a greasy texture to it. All of those words don't make this sound very appealing, but I think as a snack on the go, I think it's a really smart thing. You get a bit of protein, really easy to carry, really easy to eat. Doesn't taste great, but gets a job done. Now that I've had a second bite, they kind of remind me of what dog treats might taste like. Not that I've had a dog treat before or that I even own a dog, but what I kind of imagine. This kind of shellacked finish, this rubbery ball bounciness, and just the size of it all reminds me of something that Fido would probably adore. And for lunch, I think I'm gonna have this barbecue pork wrap made by Bridgeford. Oh, here we go. This looks very similar to the bean burrito that I've had. And there are 2 of them in here. I don't know if I'll be able to show you what's inside though. Oh, some mystery meat in there. All right, let's give that a go. Yeah, it smells just like a flour tortilla. A little bit sour. That's pretty disappointing to me. It is very, very sweet. But I'm not tasting much barbecue flavor. I really want a just great barbecue flavor, barbecue sauce, you know, just tons of barbecue sauce, but I'm not really getting it. But I think what's the strangest thing is the texture of the meat itself. It's got kind of a granular quality to it, kind of like ground beef, but it's kind of hard and nugget-like, pebbly. The wrap is quite soft though, and tastes just like a flour tortilla. But I think what's really in order here is a little bit of this. Bouillards of Louisiana pepper sauce made with Tabasco peppers. So a little of that. Well, that's an interesting pepper sauce. It's not red. It's kind of a yellowish color. All right. It doesn't make it good, but it helps. And that's a good pepper sauce. It's got a nice good kick to it, nice and tangy and vinegared. Very typical Louisiana style hot sauce. Nice amount of heat, like that. This, not so much. Let's go ahead and make our drink. And this is the beverage-based powder tropical punch. It says to add half a canteen's worth directly into the bag. So unzip this. And this is just like a Ziploc bag. It smells just like tropical punch Kool-Aid. I know half canteen's worth is about 12 ounces. Pour it right in. Add a little at a time. Okay. And I've learned from past experience that this should be zipped up nice and tightly. If you want to see me spill beverage everywhere, check out the Canadian IMP. Yeah, you're welcome. Add the rest of that in there. So that fills it right to the very, very top. I'm going to pour it back in this glass so you can see what it looks like. And actually mixed it up pretty well. All right, here we go. Cheers. And it tastes just like tropical punch Kool-Aid. I actually like this a little bit better than some of the other tropical punches I've had. This doesn't seem to taste as sweet. It's a little more tangy. It is kind of tricky to drink it out of this bag without, you know, getting it all over yourself. But I appreciate the fact that you don't have to put it in any kind of vessel. You just add water to this and you're ready to go. For our dessert, let's have this. And this is the caffeinated chocolate pudding. This is about the size of my hand. This is much larger than a goo, but I think the idea is the same. You just rip off the top and just for some extra energy and dessert. Let me squirt some out for you so you can see what it looks like. And it looks just like pudding, has the same kind of consistency as pudding. I have to say that is a very neat and tidy way to consume chocolate pudding. I like it. I think my mind might be playing a little bit of tricks on me. I feel like I'm tasting some mocha flavors in it, but I think because I've read caffeinated and I have that association with coffee, and this is chocolate, I'm imagining a little bit of coffee flavor in there, but whatever it is, this is pretty good. All right, so it's midday and now we want to have a little snack. Let's have our Italian breadsticks, and let's have that with a bit of cheese spread. Okay. Wow, look at the breadsticks. Somehow that's not quite what I was imagining. I was imagining more like sticks, like pretzel sticks or something, but this looks like more bread-like. I've been told by many people that I shouldn't need this, and if I had a ration heater, I would warm this up for extra gooiness. So my cheese is separating a little bit. That is definitely MRE style bread. Very, very dense, kind of tough to swallow. Definitely need to wash it down with something. I do like the fact that this is flavored though. Tons and tons of Italian herbs and maybe some garlic in there as well, so it gives it a little bit more variety. The cheese spread gives it a little added richness. I don't really like the oily quality of it. I think I probably should have kneaded that some more so the oils could reincorporate with the cheese. It did feel a little bit kind of slimy. It does add a little bit of flavor though, that kind of mac and cheese flavor to it. All right, now for dinner, we're gonna have the garlic herb chicken. Show you what it looks like out of the package. But this too, you could eat just directly out of the package. Actually, canned chicken comes to mind. Yeah, I do like the little grill marks. That's a nice touch. As you can see, this is a very, very, very soft piece of meat. Look at that, just crumbles. That's actually much better than I expected. It has more texture than I expected as well. Very, very tender. It does still have some substance to it, and the flavor is a lot better than I expected as well. When I first opened the package, I smelled that chicken smell and I thought it was going to taste canned, but there's absolutely no canned flavor to it at all. It's actually a little bit smoky and much better than I expected. Let's have our cheese-filled pretzels in cheddar flavor. I'm imagining these are going to be like combos, but let's see. Yep, exactly like combos, pretzels with a cheese filling. Pretty dry, but tastes exactly how I remember combos tasting as well. And while it calls itself a pretzel, it's actually kind of drier in texture, much more crumbly. And the cheese filling inside is pretty dry as well. It does have that kind of cheddar mac and cheese flavor to it. But the whole snack itself is very, very dry and would require a beverage alongside it. And for dessert, let's have our apple turnover. And this is another Bridgeford snack. There's that. Cut it open to show you what's inside. Ooh, there it looks like you can actually see little bits of apple in there. And for what this is, this actually tastes pretty good. It tastes a lot like a Little Debbie's or one of those Hostess little cinnamon rolls. It has that same soft and slight chewiness of those pre-made packaged sweets. In terms of texture, it has that same kind of softness and chewiness that comes with foods that contain a good amount of preservatives. And the cinnamon flavor is quite strong. There's a bit of apple in there, but they're chopped up so small that they don't really lend to a lot of texture. This is not a bad dessert. I'm sure it would be a lot better if it was warmed up. But yeah, for something on the go, not bad at all. Strawberry banana dairy shake powder. And this you're supposed to add a 1/4 canteen cup. All right, we'll pour that in there. Seal it tightly. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? Oh my gosh, look at that color. It's got a cotton candy pink color to it, and it smells of artificial banana and strawberry. Cheers. Don't like that at all. So that's definitely not my favorite. It tastes exactly how it smells, of artificial banana and strawberry, which aren't my favorite flavors in the first place. In terms of consistency, it's a lot like milk. I wouldn't really call it a milkshake. It's not that thick. It's just slightly thickened, and I think it'd probably be a lot better cold. Yeah. This is a very friendly drink. It reminds me a little bit of melted ice cream. I just don't care for this particular flavor, but if you like strawberry and banana, you probably really like this. Let's try our osmotic cranberries. I believe these are going to be like craisins or dehydrated sweetened cranberries, but osmotic? Oh, indeed. This is a nice pile of dried cranberries. I love these. Love, love, love them. Delicious. As a mom of 2 toddlers, this is a favorite in our house. My sons love craisins. They have the same exact texture as raisins. Kind of chewy, dehydrated fruit, a little bit leathery, but in terms of flavor, really great tanginess. These are sweetened with sugar, so there's a really great balance of tangy and sweet. Delish. Next, let's try this, and this is the mocha dessert bar. Again, very portable. Let's cut it and see what it looks like inside. Ooh, almost fudgy. And wowzers, is that sweet. That tastes exactly like the chocolate frosting on the top of a Hostess chocolate cupcake. You know, the one that has a little white swirl. Yeah, a little bit milky, a little bit vanilla, very, 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 very sweet, and tons of like that cocoa powder flavor. Too sweet for me, but I'm sure a very good source of dense, high energy. And the thing I'm most curious about is this. And this is the military energy gum. So each contains 100 milligrams of caffeine per piece. Whoa, I was not expecting that color. Look at that. And it smells like a blue raspberry icy. Exactly. Wow. It actually has a really nice texture. The candy coating is really thin, and the gum is really soft and fluffy. And it's minty too, so it actually smells more of blue raspberry and tastes more of mint. Interesting. So of course this is caffeinated, so I'm sure in about half an hour I'll be bouncing off the walls. So that was my very first taste of a First Strike ration. I was impressed overall with the kind of basic streamlinedness of this ration. The packaging was less, the size of everything was less, and I like the fact that it didn't contain a heater, that everything could be eaten just right out of the bag, and for convenience sake that was very practical. The flavors of this particular menu were not my favorite, but there are other ones to try, and I'm sure there are ones that would tickle my palate. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and thanks again to BlackDogBob for sending me this ration, and look for more videos of rations he sent me soon. Be sure to share this video with your friends and follow me on social media, and I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Whistling was never my forte.